Yes, so welcome to this free class of civil litigation. Basically, I'll be launching this program officially. It's called the Project Work Made Familiar, where I give possible answers and explain to my clients, my students, how to answer the project questions. And how do I do that? I do that by doing the project work by myself. Okay, so I do the project work, then I teach it in class. Then when you go to your farm, at least you are well equipped as to how to answer. So as you can see, this is step one. I'll help you to understand the question, then tell you how to write things like minutes, how to research, and how to have the best group discussion procedures. But I think some of these things already you have known them. That is step one. Step two, I'll give you a draft. I'll show you, you'll see it in this document, all laws that you must quote in every unit, all case laws, all legal opinions, and whatever story you'll have to give, I'll give it to you. That is in step two. In step three, I'll give you a second draft whereby I'll show you another document which I've improved. Okay, then this second draft is the one which will also be the final in terms of content. Then step four, review, where I review the project work for any errors, do a plagiarism test, adding left out content. Okay, just adding meat to the project work. You can go through a project work and realize these people are doing very shoddy, or if they did it well, they avoided or they didn't happen to include some cases. So basically, in terms of project work, then finally compiling, binding, and submitting. So in terms of project work, these are the 5 things I do per unit. So yes, so welcome to this class. This is the second last free class. The last class will be today, which is free, where I'll tackle the civil litigation drafts. So welcome to the class, and feel free to contact me. In terms of project work, I do all of this. I even help those who can't do their project work. I do it for them. Then I explain to them. Then they rewrite it in their own way or words. So if you have a difficulty with project work, I'm here for you. Consult me. Of course, everything is at a very small student-friendly fees. I'll also be tackling this project work where in my classes, 70 shillings per day. My classes are 70 shillings per day. Welcome. In a week it's 350, in a month it's 1400. It's now the start of the month. You can pay monthly or weekly or daily, depending on what you're comfortable with. Now let's get down to the civil litigation. So this is the document that I come up with, that is answering question A of the civil litigation project work. Let me scroll so that you can see. So in this first page, I'm just basically defining the question, what the examiner requires of you. So you'll find out that in question A, the examiner requires for you to write a legal opinion, differentiating amici, which is an amicus curiae, and an interested party. So I tend to tell you what you need to do per question. In question B, basically they want you to respond to the application, then provide submissions. So basically it's as simple as that. In question C, they want you to basically adverse possession is being tested in question C. But don't worry, I'll get into details in my class. In this class, I'm only tackling question A on legal opinion. I've already done it. And apart from teaching you question A, I'll also show you basically how how a project work should look like. Now let's start. This is how a project work should look like. This is the start, the cover page. Now this project starts from here. I told you I normally do the complete project. When I come to teach in class, I don't teach using theories like others. When I come to teach, I teach practically. Nikikwambia civil litigation inafaa ujibu hivi, sikwambii tu kwa theory, na kuletea the direct document that I've done. So it's up to you now to look at how I'm doing it, then perfect. There's some laws I've left out or cases. It's up to you now to perfect it. I'm giving you like 70% of the content or 60%. It's up to you now to add the extra 40% to get maximum marks. Now let's begin. This is a project work that I've done. As you can see, it's written civil litigation, ATP 100 by firm Kingmaker, class Kingmaker. So there you'll put your firm, then class, you'll put your class. Presented to KSL class of 2023, basically my clients. Okay, this is a project work is submitted in partial fulfillment of the requirements of the award of postgraduate diploma. This is how the cover page now. Hii sasa ni page ya kwanza kwa project yako inafaa ikae. This is where now you start. Then someone is calling me. Just a minute. So basically that is what the cover page should look like. Then we're going to the table of contents. Remember, your table of contents should be much beautiful, much detailed. My table of contents does not have everything. Because I did this, but then I did this project work in 6 hours. I was done with it. 6 hours. I have experience in project works. So I did 6 hours, I was done. And now I'm presenting it to you. 6 hours. So remember, I'm giving you 60%, the rest 40 uta spoon feed, utajiongezea. So don't treat this as the what you're supposed to submit. Treat this as 60% of the example. So table of contents, hakikisha hapo kwa table of contents kwa question A hakikisha umeseparate. If you have subtopics hapo unaweka question A alafu weka 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Okay? Question B kama that is only if you have separated it. Question 1, question 2, question 3. At least it makes your examiner akiangalia book yako already anajua kama unaelewa. So for example, in question C kuna drafting, where I've drafted an originating summon and supporting affidavit. You can just put them in the table of content. So you know, the whole idea is basically making the examiner to know as soon as possible that you know the correct answers. That way atakupa maximum marks. The examiners, remember what I told you, they are marking hundreds of project works. So if you don't show that you're doing the right thing as early as possible, then possibility of getting low marks is easy. So everyone when they submit their project work, they always think they have done everything to perfection. Everyone. Hata nyinyi sasa hivi mnafanya project work yenu na group yako, mna believe mnafanya the right thing kabisa. But marks ikikuja unashangaa kuna wengine walipata 11, hata 9, kuna watu walipata 9 last year. So always ensure you use these little tips and tricks that I'm giving you in this. Okay? So in table of contents, indicate very clearly everything that, especially subtopics peer, indicate. If you don't know, if you have done your project work na hamko sure about it, reach out to me. I can review it. I review project works for very little student friendly cash. So don't mkiwahi feel mnalemewa na kitu unaniambia. So in table of contents, so tuenda declaration, you declare basically originality hapa kwa declaration. Then you come to farm members, you list all your farm members. Hapa ndio watu wa farm wataandika their names and what have you. Wataandika names, what happens from there, okay, na signature. Then kuna acknowledgements. This is not important or a must, but sometimes it's advice. Just acknowledge. There's nothing to lose. Hakuna marks utanyimwa. Alafu kuna watu pia weka after hapa table of cases na table of statutes. Oh yeah. So some people put it, some don't. So there's something called table of cases yenye inaonyesha kesi zote umequote. So if I was to advise you, I will tell you, let me show you practically. The reason why this document is in Microsoft Word and not a PDF, it's because I'm teaching you live in class. So table of contents, you come, you bold it, you underline. That is table of contents, a table of cases. So you'll mention all the cases here. I forgot to add it here, but it's optional. But if there's something called optional, take it. So kama uko na option, ukisikia lecturer anakuambia you have an option of doing it or not, do it because it will show. Okay, table of cases, the lecturer will see. Oh, okay. he's mentioning the right cases already. Hata kaja pitia document yako anaona okay, these cases are relevant. So for example, you'll see in question A there's a case for Mumo which is very relevant. If you don't mention it, Muriwatetu case, if you don't mention it in question A, you'll have a tough time. Because those are famous cases, okay? Yashpal guy, very famous cases. So that is basically, unakuja hapa kwa table of cases, unaweka cases. Let me just copy paste the cases, some of the few cases in this document. Okay, here you come, all cases you come. Just a minute, I paste them. Okay, ensure the cases are in numbered form. So the lecturers like it when it's numbered. So I'll come to these cases, separate them beautifully. So your work should always be separated. When you're going to submit your work, always ensure they are perfectly, it just looks beautiful. Let it look beautiful, because you're going to submit hard copies and the lecturer will like it. Let it look beautiful. Okay, haya ndio hiyo tumemalizana na, let me save it then niende hivyo. Okay, so tumemalizana na table of cases. It's something that a lot of people, some don't put, but mimi naweza kuadvise eka table of cases. Kuna watu wanaweka table of statutes and instruments, kuna watu weka table of abbreviations, so that in case ulitumia abbreviation yoyote lecturer anaweza kusoma hapo in advance. Such things, even though zinakaa zina mark, zinasaidia lecturer anajua mapema that this firm understands the answers. You see, the moment an examiner understands that you know something, the moment an examiner understands that you know what he is asking, giving you marks is very easy. Ni kama umehack into akili yake. Sasa ni kama kufanya exam na marking scheme wenye maisha hukuwa rahisi. The same thing, he'll see like you have a marking scheme already. You already have what he's looking for. So never forget to add the minor information. Then we go to the legal opinion. So this is the legal opinion. Question A. Basically question A inasema tajiri sana does not understand what an amishi is and what an interested party. Question A also says that tajiri sana cannot distinguish between the two, the extent of their involvement in legal proceedings and basically their importance. He wants to understand. So the first part is he has to understand that. The second part is legal opinion. So lecturer angesema just explain to him, unge explain from the word go, uko from the blues. But no, it has to be in form of a legal opinion. So the lecturer is testing a few things. Kuna the aspect of a legal opinion. Do you know how to write it? He wants to know. Now, apart from the legal opinion, which I think carries around 1 or 1.5 marks, the lecturer also wants to understand that now, can you describe, can you explain this matter to your client in plain English and make him understand the difference? Okay, so nizo vitu mbili anataka uonde legal opinion. Number 2, is it understandable? Does it flow? Does it have a rhythm? So that is now where we come in. I told you I teach through practical things. I already did it for you so that you can see. Okay, question A, legal opinion. So you'll come and write a legal opinion. I said very clearly that you see there is a picture there. Sometimes lecturers like it when some things look professional. It's very simple to make a picture like this. This picture, I just imported it from another legal opinion of a law firm. Hiyo picha unaona hapo juu. So for your own law firm, kama ni law firm inaitwa Kingmaker, hapo kwa A&V Advocates naandika Kingmaker and Co Advocates. Then naandika penye iko and what have you. So sometimes lecturers love it when you're original. Wanaona this group put effort. So you can put the picture. I remember in our class, some of the groups which will do their legal opinions like this will get marks. Hao ndo walikuwa among the highest scoring including ours. Juu mimi ndo nilikuwa tasked back in 2021. I was being tasked with the work of doing what? Editing and compiling. So I will convert texts to images. So but kama hii unaweza, but si lazima pia. If you want your group work to do something simple, there's no problem. You'll still get your marks. But sometimes beauty, the moment something is beautiful, in your lecturer's eyes, then awarding marks is very easy. So unaanza na contacts ya law firm hapo. So ingekuwa utumie image, ungeandika contacts ya law firm on the right side, right upper side. Unaandika Kingmaker and Co Advocates, okay, PO Box. So basically you just give the details, give the location of the law firm and the floor, PO Box, then Nairobi, and then hapo chini uandike kama number or something of the sort, or email if you want. Then you come and write our ref, your ref, date, Mr. Tajiri Sana, PO Box, then dear sir, legal opinion on Amishi, an interested party. Now remember one thing, the legal opinion is most of the times a legal opinion is sent to the client. So it is normally advisable to give a legal opinion that is basically in letter form. Kama hii unaona iko in letter form, si ndio? Iko in letter form. I've given a legal opinion using the letter form. So I'll say legal opinion on Amishi and interested parties in court proceedings. Unaweza ongeza hapa mbele, hata ukitaka unaweza ongeza hapa mbele legal opinion. Okay, just a minute. Just a minute. Ukitaka unaweza ongeza hapa mbele legal opinion on Amishi and interested parties in court proceedings and extent of the involvement. Unaweza ongeza tu, yani just for the sake of it, court and extent of their and role and extent of their involvement. Okay, involvement. Okay, so basically you see I'm improving the document as I'm going. Ni kama na review document yenye nilikuwa nishaunda. I'm trying to make it a better document. Ndio hiyo. The Kingmaker document is going well. Then tunaanza na introduction. Of course you have just give a brief introduction. So basically this is the professional way of doing a legal opinion. So lecturers also want the professional way, because you are here to learn how to become a professional. Sindio? Unasikianga law is a profession. You learn how to become a professional. So introduction, we make reference to the website matter, then you go to the facts. Remember, legal opinion should be written using the FIRAC method always. Though there is the other method where they start with the I think it's called this SIRIAC method, but that is not advisable. It does not flow. If I was to be honest with you, that method does not flow. So the FIRAC method is always the best. What is the FIRAC method? The FIRAC method is basically FIRAC. Okay, just a minute. Let me cancel this. Okay. The FIRAC method is basically FIRAC. FIRAC. Always use it in every place. At exam, ukisikia tu legal opinion anywhere, FIRAC. Even some judgments are written using the FIRAC method. But always know that a legal opinion applies the FIRAC method. FIRAC. F is facts. Unaanza na kulist facts, then you go to the issues, then you go to the rule of law, then you get to the analysis, then finally conclusion. So mimi nimeanza na facts. Now before we proceed, remember there are some lecturers who say that you should put these headings. Unaona hizi headings nimeweka introduction, background. Kuna lecturers who sema uweke, but kuna some lecturers who say do not put it. Okay, personally I support putting it. So I support putting it in this context. Let me just even update this right now. Change case, uppercase. Just a minute. You see I'm continuing to review. This is introduction. I don't want it to be underlined. You can underline yours, but to avoid a situation whereby, okay, more formatting, change case, uppercase. You see I'm continuing background and factual. So hapa niko facts, introduction, then I come to facts. Kwa facts tuna mention just let it not go more than 2 or 3 sentences. Mine only took 2 sentences. Mention what is happening. Mimi nimesema Mr. Tajiri Sana does not understand what an Amishi and I said that interested party is. So he seeks the answers that I provide below. Sawa. Aya, nikamaliza nikakuja kwa issues for consideration. So hapo unasema hata issues. Unaona? Issues. So you can say issues. Issues is the best way. If I was reviewing this work, I would say issues, which I actually am. You see, step by step na kuonyesha venye mtu ana improve job yake, project work yake. Sawa. So rule of law, kuja hapa, bold, underline. The reason why I'm not underlining it because already uko juu underlined. So for it to look like it's flowing, heri isikuwa underlined. So issues nimesema, what are the circumstances that give rise to a party becoming an amishi or an interested party? What is the extent of the involvement? What is the significance of having an amishi, an interested party? Now, kwa issues, always remember it will end with a question mark. Most issues zinasemanga vitu kama zinaanzanga na different words. Okay, kuna issues zingine zinaanza na weather, zingine zinaanza na r. Watu wengi who prefer the weather part of an issue, but you can draft an issue depending on what you prefer. So don't have a fixed mind when analyzing this project made familiar. Okay, don't have a fixed mind. Never have a fixed mind. Open up your mind. There must be facts, there must be issues. So hapa kwa issues lazima ishe na question mark. List a few issues. You can either list one and combine all three or just break them down. So hapa mimi break them down. So hiyo ndo issues. Rule of law is basically where you mention all the laws zenye utarefer to. Okay? So for example, mimi hapa nimemention COK, Supreme Court rules, practice and procedure rules or the Motunga rules. Mimi hizo ndo laws zenye nafikiri zina apply. Though I've forgotten the civil. Okay, just a minute. Civil procedure rules. I've forgotten that one. Nilikuwa nimesahau here. Sorry for that. Okay. So I'd forgotten that. So unaona mimi naendelea I'm continuing to improve on my document. So kwa rule of law pia, go ahead and mention cases. You have nothing to lose. Kuna watu wanasemanga, oh, only mention the laws. No, you have nothing to lose. Mention them. Go ahead and mention them. Okay? Go ahead and mention them. Just a minute. So what I'm basically doing is editing. I'm just editing slightly to ensure this document is perfect. So kwa cases unaona nimeedit at least ikue small letters so that if the person is going through the legal opinion they understand that bado tuko kwa rule of law au jenda kwa kitu different. So that these are the cases that we're applying here. Unaona hapo Meme versus Republic and what have you. So when you're editing this stuff, every usikue na kitu iko hapa. Unaona kama hapa iteremke kwa page yake iko hapo chini, click, unaona iko perfect. Aya, so basically that is tuko kwa rule of law. So tumemention kwa FIRAC, tumemention facts, issues, rule of law. Sasa tunaingia analysis. Hapa sasa ndo kuna marks. Hapa sasa venye una analyze ina matter. The analysis should flow. The analysis should apply kila kitu yenye mention kwa rule of law, cases na issues, lazima ikue. Now when you are doing an analysis of the issues, okay, so unaweza kuja useme analysis. So you can either say analysis of the issue or analysis. Remember I said guys, kuna lecturers kama LWD, nasikia lecturer wenu LWD anasema msiandike hizi analysis. Yeye ati hataki muandike. Just a minute. There is a student who told me that your LWD lecturer doesn't want you people to write. Just a minute. Doesn't want you to write part ya analysis, rule of law. So if your lecturer tells you not to, don't write. But if he doesn't give you any guidance, you go ahead and write. You have nothing to lose. So some law firms out here, as long as your document is professional, you can draft. As long as your document still within the provided rules, acts, don't hesitate. So analysis, sasa kwa analysis, ensure it flows. Yangu nijaribu kuunda in the best way possible ndo iflow. Kama hii analysis yangu imeflow kabisa. Personally, I've decided to separate the differences into 4. Foundation. What is the foundation? Excuse my, I have a homa kidogo, but no problem. Foundation. Then there's the definitions. I've separated them into definitions. So for example, when I'm reviewing your work, hapa nitakikisha juu hii part ya definition si very ni kidogo sana. So I will push my definition in that page. You see it looks more beautiful when someone is going through it. Then I will come here and just adjust this. Okay, and then definitions. So kuna foundation, separate my differences. Foundation ni explain hapo, definition ni explain hapo, legal provisions differences and explain hapo, then how are they admitted to court and explain hapo, alafu lastly the roles. So I've separated my difference into 5. Always separate when you unataka, but I felt like this is the best way to separate it. So you as a law firm, you can look kwa analysis yako utafigure out way separate. So let me take this. So nilianza na foundation. Hapa kwa foundation ni can mention, for example, the Meme versus Republic case. I don't know if it's Mem or Mimi. The Mem versus Republic case. It basically says that a party can be added to the case if it would help in achieving justice. Basically, it gives a foundation as to, or rather a justification as to why an interested party or an amishi can be admitted. If it can lead to justice being achieved, then the High Court can allow. Okay, I've come and mentioned Article 22.3. It basically says that the Chief Justice must establish regulations, okay, to instances involving rights and basic liberties in the Constitution. Okay, also it gives courts the power to include or give permission to someone who has a particular skill as a friend of a court, okay, who can help in any way possible to ensure justice is achieved. So hapa nimepeana foundation ya interested party na foundation ya, let me just do this ndio ikuwe more visible. Yes, foundation ya hiyo interested party na foundation ya amishi. So basically that is what it is. And then definitions, tunakuja kwa definition. Now you see I'm flowing. Nimeanza na foundation. What is their foundation? What is the difference in foundation? Okay, then nimekuja sasa ku define. How are they different in terms of definition? In definition, there is something called the Mutunga rules. Okay, the Mutunga rules basically defines friend of a court. Friend of a court is an amishi as an independent and biased expert on a topic which is the subject of proceedings, but is not party to the case and helps to assist the court with their experience. Okay, when a person has knowledge, so basically a friend of the court is defined in summary as someone who is unbiased, okay, in a particular topic. He is not party, but basically anasaidia koti. So that's how Mutunga rules define it. Kwa hiyo definition nimekuja nikarusha kesi moja. Nimesema ni Judicial Service Commission versus Speaker of National Assembly. I've cited it. Don't forget to cite it. And when you cite something, guys, remember, use the scholar method. Because I've done my work quickly, I didn't manage to use the scholar method hapa. Okay? So by the time I send the final document, I'll send the final document after today's class. Today is on Thursday. I'll send the I'll be having my final free class today, where I'll be dealing with the drafting. Hii class tu ni ya question B pekee, question A. Question ya hii classes za leo ni drafting. Tuna draft nini? Tuna draft aje? Ni kuonyesha kitu nimedraft, tufurahie, mtu aulize maswali, mkuwe na the perfect answer ya kupeana kwa group work. So ndo hiyo friend of the court, nikarusha hapo Judicial Service Commission. Okay, so it talks basically that an amicus curiae must have expertise in an issue and be impartial for them to be considered a friend of the court. Okay, na nikamaliza. Then I came to define an interested party with the Mutunga rules also. So the Mutunga rules are very crucial. In fact, there is a particular case I'd want you to read. Hiyo kesi iko na majibu ya hii swali. Yani submissions ya hiyo kesi iko na hizi majibu kabisa. I don't know if I show you. Let me try and navigate. You'll have to excuse my home screen. Opera Mini. Just a minute. Let me show you. I'm recording using my phone because I find that it's much better. Just a minute. Dismiss. I feel like it's much better when I'm recording using my phone. This ruling is very crucial. Let me just show you haraka. Utapitia senye unataka kuongeza makesi. You see this case? Law Society, HIV. Okay, just a minute. Let me confirm if it's this one. Just a minute. There's a page I need to see. Perfect. So utafuteni hii kesi kabisa. Petition number 606 of 2014. It's a ruling, but it gives one of the best analysis, okay, of an amicus. So let me show you which page. Ukikuja hapa kwa page, ukikuja kwa hii page hapa, ukikuja hii page 7, unaona there's a part they have written the applicable law. The applications before me seek answers to two fairly straightforward issues: whether the PwC should be joined as interested party or as a friend of the court. Ukisoma hapo chini. So in this case, the magistrates analyzes so well this issue. Unaona hii issue yenye huyu client ameshindwa, tajiri sana, ameshindwa kudistinguish from hapa number 16. Ukiteremka hivi yote ndio unaona hapo mention Mutunga rules. Okay, wamedefine. Wameonyesha venye mtu anajoiniwa, okay, as a interested party, then venye mtu anajoiniwa as an amicus. Sawa, hapo 18 na 20. 19 na 20. Okay, wamekuja waka mention hii kesi. Hii kesi pia mimi nimetaja kwa hii document yangu. Wakakuja waka mention kesi, waka mention hii pia. Hii kesi siku mention, lakini wewe mwenyewe unaweza mention kwa document yako hii Judicial Service Commission. Hata hii kesi yenye tunasoma saa hii inafaa mention kwa your work. So I'm giving you 60% of where these answers are, and this is what I'll be teaching you. Okay, nakupea majibu first hand. Then we proceed. Inaendelea kuongelea hiyo story yote, so wewe mwenyewe utakuja usome hii story, alafu ujue wenye uta apply. So never forget that. I think from number 18 to 23 ndo ina touch on, from 16 to 23 ndo ina touch on Amishi. So kindly ensure you go through this case. Kama huna nitakutumia, just come to the Kingmaker. I mean all 6 groups, just come look for the Kingmaker hapo, kuja nikutumia hii kesi. This is the type of content I'm sending to my clients at the moment. In fact, after today's class, I'll be sending all these reference materials to my group. So kama uko Kingmaker group, kuja, you're missing out on a lot. Okay, I'll be sending that documents that can help you. Let's go back to what we were doing. So nikakuja nikadefine what an interested party is, the definition. This document I'll send it to the Kingmaker. Once I finish teaching it, nitatuma yote. This is a free version. Hii document ni free version. My classes za civil ni free version, which I think will end today Thursday. Ama kama itakuwa imeisha leo, itaisha kesho, the free version. Next week sasa ni kulipa, wenye atakuwa wanaweza lipa walipe 70 bob per class. Let's proceed. The third way nilidefine it through legal provisions. I separated them using the legal provisions. I talked about the Supreme Court rules, okay? Then nikakuja kuongelea the Mutunga rules. Sawa, nikazi differentiate in terms of legal provisions. Remember, I've said this document I'll send it to the Kingmaker group, okay? So all the links za Kingmaker by then nilituma kwa group zote from A hadi G. Just go to your group history, search up there Kingmaker, click on link, then utaona link hapo. Kama utapata kuja tu inbox yangu, ndakusaidia hiyo link. So I'll post this whole document huko. So this is all about the rules that apply. Sawa. So then admission to court. Admission to court is how they're admitted to the court. An interested party anadmitiwa aje? Okay? An interested party, nika mention kesi hapo, Muru Atetu case. You can submit a joint application that contains the submissions. So kama ni interested party, you need a joint application. The admission of an amicus curiae is different. How? Nimemention hapo kesi ya Mumo Matemo. Hii kesi usikose kumention. Tafadhali usikose. Na every time you mention a case, remember guys, I had forgotten about this. Every time you mention a case, insert footnote. Yes, so because nilikuwa nishaitaja before, you can just say EBID. So just ensure you don't forget to cite. Sawa, so nakufunza hizi vitu tukisonga. So in an amicus curiae, you must draft an amicus brief outlining the legal issues that will be raised orally. This brief should be submitted along with the request for permission to participate in the case as an amicus curiae. So unaona hii ni different from what? From interested party. Interested party lazima ikuwe a joint application. In amicus curiae, it must be an amicus brief which you'll submit it orally. Utaongea. Sawa. So it's as simple as that. Okay, let me just edit something here. Perfect. Document nilikwambia lazima ikuwe beautiful. So kama hii part unaona nimehakikisha imerudi hapa juu, then you tick. Okay. I also forgot one thing. Insert where is it? Page number. Msiwahi sahau story ya page number, inasaidia sana. So unaona nimekumbuka sahi na ndo hiyo. Page numbers have all been put. Okay. Okay, so page numbers na hizo zimekuja. The document is now close to perfection. So every page wacha nikwambie the significance of page number. Kuna watu wajuangi, wana assume vitu. Page number inasaidia sana. The lecturer at least anajua ana make progress. Mtu like there's some of these tricks and tips, psychological tips and tricks. If you use them, na hizo ndo vitu pia nafunza kwa orals. Kuna hizi psychological tips and tricks. If you use them in the project work, if you use them in the orals, if you use them on the CLE. Na niko na zote specific ya project, orals. Training yangu nikianza Monday ya orals kwanza. Nitakuwa nawapea hizi tricks. Another trick is this ya number. Psychologically, when you see a document has numbers na yenye haina, ya numbers itakuwa more easier kufollow than yenye haina numbers. So always number your document. Number 2, kuna psychological trip ingine. Always bold the important places. Kama kesi na places umemention the law. So nuna mimi angalia places nime bold, just a minute. Angalia places nime bold kwa hii document, angalia. Kesi zote nime bold. Hizi rules zote nime bold. It's also a psychological trick. In the sense that mtu akipitia document yako ana notice penye points ziko haraka haraka na kupewa marks. But mtu haja bold, just imagine sija bold. Alafu usome document ya boldiwa. I know you've been researching this project works. Usome kitu ya boldiwa. Usome kitu haiko. Just imagine. Unatafuta points uoni. Sasa imagine your lecturer who is going to focus on how many project works, almost 100 project works. Do you think he'll have the time to look for your points? No. That's another psychological trick. These are some of the few things you cannot know kama mtu haja kuambia. Okay? Okay. So tunaendelea. Difference ya mwisho nilisema roles. Nikasema roles of an amicus curiae. Alafu nikakuja kusema hapa sasa ni because I didn't manage to finish this part. Inafaa sasa ongeze roles of an interested party. Interested party. Kuja ubold hivyo, alafu weke ilale kidogo, then you'll come here and mention the roles. But the roles of an interested, the reason sikuweka ni the role is very simple. The role, most of the time, the role of an interested party is to contribute in the court making a favorable decision to their own interest. Like role yake ni very easy. Basically an interested party ni party yenye iko interested in that matter. So their role is easy. You'll come up with their role. Me may come with it from the blues, but their role is very easy. 2 sentences umemaliza your story. You can look for a case and generate a role for yourself. Sawa? So basically hiyo nimemalizana na analysis. Sawa? Nimeanalyze kabisa, nimeweka makesi, nimerusha hapo laws, nimemention rules. Sawa? So hiyo ni analysis imeisha. Then FIRAC inamalizangwa na conclusion always. So now look, this is the most interesting part. How do you conclude? It's very crucial for you. Naturally, a conclusion should always summarize everything. Inafaa ujue hivyo. Naturally, whether it's an essay, PhD, I've been doing these things for students. At our masters, at our PhD, nawafanyia my research work. In university, I used to do these assignments for people. So the experience I have is a lot. So conclusion should always be the just end. Summary and the end of everything. So in my conclusion, I've come ahead and put a table. Why? Because I've used so many words up there. I now feel like I should separate them into a table. And this table is beautiful. Just look at it. This table summarizes everything. Venye unaiona hivyo. Every word, every story that we've given, kila kitu tumesummarize hapa kwa hii table, as you can look at it right now. So I will tell you this, hii table either uweke kwa conclusion ama analysis, wewe amua venye unataka, but mimi nilifeel I should conclude with a table. Why? So that my client can easily see all the roles tukimaliza. If a lecturer is going through such a document, anaona yenyewe imeflow. Unaona imeflow. Tufika conclusion, nimepeana table yenyewe ina flow. Now, in your analysis you can use, unaona hizi category nime mention, wewe unaweza tumia hizo. Mimi nilitumia I think 4 of them from hapa. But zenye mimi nimetumia ni hizi. Now in conclusion nimesema role in case. An amicus, so this is a summary basically, yenye lazima ikuwe kwa project yako. In the case, an amicus or a friend of a court is a neutral party. Sindio? Is always the neutral party. Utapata LSK ni amicus sometimes. An interested party has a direct stake or interest in the case. Okay? In terms of purpose, an amicus wants to aid the court in reaching an informed decision. In an interested party, it basically advocates for their own interest. Ujue interested party ni their own interest. Then there's the motivation part. What motivates? Amicus is motivated by fidelity to the law and ensuring a legal and legitimate decision is made. Basically justice is what the amicus wants. Na hiyo ndio kitu unaonanga LSK wanapenda sana kukuja kama amicus. Interested party is to advocate for their own interest or stake. Okay, then there's a motivation. What motivation imeongelea? Outcome, how does it affect both of them? Outcome, no direct effect on their own interest. Interested party directly affected. Okay. Appearance in court, not required to have a personal interest in the case. Ingine ni appears in court to champion their own cause. And then second last, relationship to the court. One is a friend to the court, the other one is not necessarily a friend. Higher focus. The focus is on legal and professional integrity. The other one is on personal interest. So this is how I've concluded my document. Venye nilipitia swali jana, I told you I said I did this job between 2 to 9. I used 7 hours to do this whole project work. Hii yenye mnafanya na miezi mbili nilichapa hiyo job sababu niko na experience. I did it and this is part A of it. I'm just explaining my thought process. So if there's anyone who has a different thought process, inbox me, niambie we, mbona isikae hivi, mbona usimensioni. I have no problem. We can make modifications, we can improve on such. So hiyo ni the conclusion part. Nimeandika conclusion nikamaliza. Then finally nikaandika, we trust that this opinion is sufficient for your purposes, but should you inquire any further information or clarification, please do not hesitate to contact us. Yours faithfully, KM, Kingmaker and Co-Advocates. You can sign, okay, hapa chini. Asa hapa chini unaweza kuja okay, basically the moment umeweka hii, it works as a signature. Unaona hii initials, either you sign or weke signature. Sawa, either usign or weke signature. Either usign na mweke signature hivyo. Then useme Kingmaker and Co-Advocates. So basically this is what legal opinion looks like. Let me just show you again. So hapa ndo majibu ilianzia, ndo hiyo. Nikakuja background, nikakuja rule of law, background alafu issues, rule of law, nikakuja nikasema analysis. Usisahau kwa analysis lazima umention hiyo issue. So mention issue hapo juu. Unaona nimeka analysis. Alafu nikakuja nikasema what are the circumstances that give rise to a party becoming an amishi or interested party. So mention, ukiangalia kwa hizi court cases that people submit, kwa analysis, hata kwa ruling ama legal opinion, utapata mtu ana mention hiyo issue to remind the examiner this is what we are analyzing at this point. Also remember you can separate the issues into 3 hapa. Mimi nilichoose kuzijibu zote pamoja, I felt like they are interconnected. But wewe unaweza separate what gives rise to a party becoming an amishi ikuwe the first issue. Ongelea hiyo. Alafu enda to extent, what are the extent of involvement? Explain kabisa. Alafu malizia significance. Sawa? So you can separate or you can put together. Nikakuja nika analyze, then finally nika conclude. Sawa? Conclusion. So I would advise you to use a table. Usitumie yangu exact pia wewe. Najua wengine wenu mtakuwa tempted kucopy paste. Usicopy paste. Use your words. The answers are all the same, but how you word it, how you put it is what matters. So that is all for today's class. That is project work made familiar. Project work made familiar. Basically ndo hizi hapa. So welcome, otherwise welcome to my class. Today night I'll be dealing with part C. Leo nitadeal na part C. Where is part C? Part C ndo hii. Draft the appropriate pleadings. I'll be dealing with the adverse position. Part C ndo hii hapa. Kuhusu kundamawe. So don't miss it. It's a free class. Enjoy this free classes hii wiki. Next week sasa naanza kulipisha. The clients who are paying up, there are people who are paying monthly, daily classes. So from next week expect such classes to be more private, only to a few students. Okay, so basically thank you for your time, and see you today Thursday night, and maybe tomorrow night. Okay, Bye and have a good Thursday ahead. See you at 9.